Good morning, everyone. My name is Veronica Lopez. I'm a business counselor manager here with Pace Business. I'll be your host and facilitator. So first, our topic for today, make sure everyone's in the right room, is empowering small business essentials for technology tools for business growth. Again, my name is Veronica Lopez, and I will be your host. Today, we have the opportunity to have Finli. They are a software company, and they're going to go more into detail about their current product that they're offering. But before that, I would like to just speak a little bit about PACE and the work that we do. So PACE is a nonprofit organization based in Los Angeles area. We provide economic justice by providing solutions to the problems of poverty and economic inequality in minority, ethnic, and immigrant communities. Just know that we serve all clients from all walks of life. That's specifically our mission. So our core programs consist of workforce development, hence the name Pacific Asian Consortium in Employment, early childhood education, energy and environmental services, affordable housing, and business development. So more about the Business Development Center. So the mission and the goal of the Business Development Center is to advance the wealth of our communities by giving individuals the tools to develop sustainable businesses and manage their personal and business finance successfully. We do that by way of different technical assistance and lending products that we offer. So we are a City of Los Angeles BusinessSource Center. We cover the regions of Pico-Union, Westlake, and Hollywood. We recently, on October 1st, were provided a $1.5 million contract to offer procurement services under the name Procure LA with the City of Los Angeles. We are a U.S. Small Business Administration Women's Business Center. This year we won, I guess, the coveted WBC award. And then we are also Cal OSPA Governor's Office of Small Business Economic Development Go Biz Center. And then we are also a U.S. Department of Commerce Minority Business Development Center that offers procurement services, and that's very specific. It's for businesses with revenues of 500,000 or more. But if your business is less than that revenue, of course, we can help you through our other programs. Our lending, we are a CDFI, Community Development Financial Institution. As a CDFI, we're not a depository, which means we're not like a traditional bank that has savings and checking accounts. We are a small business lender. We are also an SBA lender through the Community Advantage. And what we provide is I like to think we're recycling the money back into the community. We're also helping those businesses that would have been underserved by the banks. For example, if you're a startup, if you go to a bank, you traditionally would be turned down by the banks because you don't have 3 years in business, the capital is not there, the credit is not there. The business itself cannot stand alone and pay the monthly payment, but perhaps you can. And that's how PACE looks at the entire picture of the loan request. So we see not only that the business can pay the loan back, but also that the borrower can pay. So that's considered global cash flow, and usually banks don't do that. And so we provide that type of lending. And lastly, we're a state treasury or CalCap lender. So our loans are guaranteed by the state. Okay, here's just an overview of the different services that we offer. We offer one-on-one consulting. Our I guess bread and butter is the entrepreneurial training program. So it's either a 5-week series or of 5 Saturday session series, but it's a mini MBA. So it covers everything from how to start a business, from licensing to the accounting part to the marketing. We have a lot of different guest speaker specialists who talk about very specific areas about how to start a business. And then, of course, we have ongoing business courses live and also available through our e-library. I mentioned a little bit about the small business financing. And then, of course, I always want to plug in our WorkSource centers, which provide assistance both for people who are seeking employment, but also to businesses. One of the big incentives is they have a 6-month assistance program that helps an employer pay for the salary to train a new employee. So if you're interested in that, I can, of course, refer you to our WorkSource Center, but that's a great opportunity for a small business. And with that, I just want to put it one plug for our ongoing webinars. And then also just to mention that if you have a friend or anyone who's interested in attending this webinar, we are going to have a second session, and Mackenzie will cover that soon. Okay, so our next upcoming webinar is the employment law for small businesses on Wednesday, December 4th. But there are also a lot of additional webinars, and if you just scan the QR code now, you'll be able to access that. So with that, I would like to pass the floor to Mackenzie from Finley. And of course, if didn't get a chance to make your introduction, but yeah, if you can share a little bit about yourself, Mackenzie, before we get started. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Veronica, and thank you guys all for being here this morning. I'm also based in Los Angeles, so super excited to be connecting with you all today. As Veronica mentioned, my name is Mackenzie. I'm the head of operations here at Finli. Finli is a digital back office platform for small businesses that's focused on removing all of the really time consuming and manual parts of running a business. So we have a really comprehensive platform that I'm excited to walk you all through today. Just kind of a quick overview of the way that we'll spend the next hour. I'm going to talk a little bit about the small business landscape and what tools are out there. Some of them you might be familiar with and maybe using. And then we'll kind of move on to walking through our platform, as well as sharing a live demo. And then we are super, super excited to be partnering with Pace and also JP Morgan Chase, who has offered to grant complimentary access to our platform for a year for all of the participants of this webinar. And we'll talk about the details of that as well. So I'll go ahead and share my screen here and we can jump in. If you have any questions as we're going through this, please feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll have time at the end, or I can kind of answer as we're going as well. This probably comes as no surprise, but seeing as we are all about supporting small businesses, similar to Pace, you know, we place a huge importance on all of the small business growth that has taken place over the last 5 years or so. And I'm assuming that most of the participants here on the call today are part of that number, and we're super excited to be able to offer a platform that supports those individuals. One of the things that's always jumped out to us about the small business space is that there are a whole lot of tools out there for really large organizations who have the capital and time to be able to invest in and implement these really, customized and detailed solutions. But those don't really exist for small business operators. And as a result, they spend a ton of time each week on really manual tasks like following up with customers who haven't paid for last month's services, or manually tracking their inventory, or going through and reaching out to customers who haven't engaged in a little while. Whereas large enterprises have a lot of automated software that can help with a lot of that management. We see that a lot of the small businesses that come and work with us are coming over from using checks and cash and Excel sheets to keep track of all of their customers and all of their payments. So kind of a little bit of an insight into why we've built the tool that we've built. And this is, again, kind of an overview of this space, but many of you might experience this problem firsthand. We've been seeing that small business owners spend on average about $340 a month on all of the different digital subscriptions that they are using to run their business, which is really significant and really expensive for someone who's either just getting a business started or is in the early phases. Some of these on the screen here you might be familiar with, but small business owners are experiencing the same digital subscription fatigue, as I like to call it, that all of us are with our, tens of different subscriptions to streaming platforms and other services that we're paying for month over month. And that has a really big impact on your bottom line. Some of these different solutions, and again, we'll kind of go through each of these different categories. Maybe you're already using one or a couple of the ones that you see on the screen here. Obviously, there is a slew of different issues with a number of these that maybe you guys, feel the pain points for, and that's why you're here today. But many of these options are either highly manual and very time consuming, are very expensive each month, or you're kind of cobbling together all of these different solutions and using maybe Venmo and QuickBooks and Excel and another invoicing platform, and none of those platforms actually talk to each other. So you have information that's living in all of these different systems, and it's not as if your Venmo account flags you when an invoice that you sent out through another system has been paid yet. And those little kind of in between, connective moments and all the manual work that goes into managing all of those different systems, that's really what adds up to that 14, 15 hours a week of manual overhead. And one of the things that always really strikes me is like, that's a huge chunk of your week. And I'm pretty certain that that's not the reason that you went into being a small business owner. We work with all different types of small businesses, martial arts studios, independent marketing agencies, consultants, gyms, bakeries, flower studios, events managers, and all of those individuals went into the business that they went into because they love teaching kids martial arts or planning events or working on marketing strategy. They didn't get into that business because they're super passionate about, sending out invoices every month and following up with all their customers on overdue payments. So as much as we can offload those maybe more negative parts of running a business or more time consuming parts of running a business, that's really what we're set out to do, so that we can give you the time back to focus on the parts of running your business that you do love. And that's really what our mission is all about here at Finli. We are dedicated to powering the small business community, and we have a whole set of tools that enable us to do that. We're also a certified B Corporation, which means that we meet rigorous standards in terms of how we're giving back to communities and how we're running our business. And so we're just really excited to be here and really excited to be sharing a little bit more about our platform and how we can hopefully help you all as small business owners get more of that time back in your day to be managing the parts of your business that you do really enjoy. Okay, so kind of an overview of how we're going to spend our time here today. I know we have about 45 minutes here. What I'm going to do is run through kind of all of the different features that we offer on our platform. We'll kind of jump into a quick live demo that shows you how everything works. We'll have some time for Q&A, and then we'll also share the instructions for how you guys can get signed up for the free 1-year license to our platform if that is of interest to you. And we'll kind of run through these as we go. All right. So first things first, really the crux of our platform, and I've kind of already touched on this a little bit, so maybe you've taken a guess, is helping small businesses get paid faster. We have a comprehensive digital invoicing and payment processing tool that is built right into our platform. And what that means is that you can get a professional invoice created and sent out to your customers through either SMS or ACH. I'm sorry, SMS or email in a matter of a couple minutes. Then once you send that invoice out, it's a live link that exists where that customer can actually come on and make payment to your business through either ACH, credit card, Apple Pay, or we're launching new payment methods all the time. And again, we'll show you guys what that looks like a little bit later. But it makes it really easy to offer a digital payment experience to your customers, and also keep track of all those payments, keep track of all those invoices. We handle all of the reminders. So if customers haven't paid their invoice from last week or last month, we're going to have those uncomfortable conversations for you. So we'll automatically send those email reminders that you don't have to remember to do that. I maybe should have had a slide for this, but one of the numbers that I think is so shocking is I think it's around 15 to 20% of services provided by small businesses actually never end up getting paid for. And whether that's because the payment systems that they have in place, or they're not wanting to follow up with customers, or whatever other extenuating circumstances are taking place, we are able to significantly reduce that number for a small business owner, so that you can make sure if you're taking the time and resources to provide a service to your customer, you're receiving compensation for that. One of the pieces that I have called out on the bottom here is around processing fees. I'm sure that, if any of you already offer digital payment options to your customers, or maybe have looked into it before, one of the things that is A bit of a hindrance to a lot of small businesses is the cost for being able to do that. Most credit card processing, depending on the provider that you're working with, is between 3 and 4% of the total charge that you're making. ACH payments are between 1 and 2%, and sometimes it's really difficult for small businesses to get all of those different systems set up to be able to offer that. One of the things that I think small businesses have been burned by in the past is a lot of these different solutions, QuickBooks included, that promise easy payment options and then actually are kind of sneakily charging really expensive transaction fees that you might not even be realizing until the end of the year when you're looking over, your bookkeeping or accounting statements, and you're realizing that you've spent thousands of dollars that year on just transaction fees, just the fee to collect payment from your customers. And as a small business owner, I'm sure you all know that in a lot of cases margins are really tight, and you know as great as it is to be able to offer a digital payment option, maybe it's not worth that couple extra $1,000 a year. So Finley's really committed to reducing that for small businesses. Bank to bank payments on our platform are always 100% free. And what we do is, if customers choose to use a credit card, you as a business can choose to pass that charge on to the customer. So there is a 3% processing fee for credit card payments. But again, you have the ability to pass that on to your customers. So your customers can look at the invoice and say, oh, if I want to pay with a bank transfer, that's free for me to do so. Or if I want to choose to pay with a credit card, yes, I'll go ahead and take on that processing fee so that I can do that, which makes it much easier for you as a business to manage and much less expensive. So very brief overview of kind of our invoicing and payment option. Again, we'll go a little bit deeper on that later in our time today so that I can show you guys what the process actually looks like to send out an invoice and collect that payment. Spoiler alert, it's very easy and very quick. So we're not implementing like crazy technology or processes for your team to manage here. Another piece of our platform is actually a fully built-in CRM. So you're able to store all of your customer information, keep that up to date as maybe they're changing contact information or addresses. You're able to securely store notes and attachments. So you can upload maybe waivers that have been signed by your customers or previous contract that you've entered into with them. And then from there, you can very easily navigate to view their entire payment history with your business, their entire invoice and quote history with your business. So it's very easy for you to identify, oh, wait, this customer hasn't, come in for a service in over 3 months, or hang on, they came in today, but they haven't paid for their last 3 invoices. I'm going to make sure to collect that payment before I offer that service. It's all in one place and very easy for you to access. And I know that this is different than a lot of other invoicing platforms. Again, I mentioned this earlier, but maybe you're using a couple different systems to keep track of customer information and keep track of invoices and keep track of payments. And if all of those systems aren't talking to each other, then you really don't have a holistic understanding of what your relationship is with your customer. So again, we bring that all into one consolidated place, so it's very easy to see and manage all together. Another piece that we have built into the platform is actually a fully comprehensive inventory management system as well. So you can keep track of all of the regular pricing items that you're billing customers for. Many of you might be more, service oriented, and so that's great. But if you do have physical stock that you're selling to customers as well, we make it really easy for you to track all of that, and it updates in real time as you're sending out invoices and billing customers for those items. So for example, we have, as I mentioned earlier, some martial arts studios on the platform, and they're obviously charging customers for, the monthly gym fees or class fees, but then they're also selling the equipment to their customers. And, it's not a massive part of their business. They're not running an entire warehouse with all of that, but they do have inventory that they're keeping. They want to make sure that they're not running out of stuff and able to maximize the revenue there. And so we're able to track that all within our system very easily for them as well. And then another piece that we do offer is a full quote and kind of proposal estimates process as well. So you're able to keep track of not only your existing business, but also new or potential business. So you can send out a quote to a customer potential customer, they have the ability to approve that or reject that within our system. Or if it's still outstanding, you can easily go and access a view that shows all of the outstanding quotes that you haven't heard back from prospects on yet. You can easily follow up with those, send reminders, and then once potential customers do accept the terms of that quote, you can very easily convert it into an invoice that's then ready for billing and ready to collect payment. So that's, again, a very easy to use process, all within our system. I'm actually going to come back to this a little bit later because there are a couple of other providers that offer similar tools, but we'll get into some of the details of this a little bit later. Many of them charge pretty expensive transaction fees that you might not be recognizing while you're going through this. And as I already mentioned, most of them don't offer, the CRM and inventory management components. So again, your systems aren't talking to each other. They're not aware of if a customer has, already paid or is being invoiced again and all those types of things. And then most of them don't integrate to your existing accounting software. So we have pre-built integrations to QuickBooks and a couple of other systems, which I'm sure many of your bookkeepers require that you use, or maybe you've gotten used to using. So we make it really easy for you to, again, manage the day-to-day management of your business within our system. And then all of that information flows in real time over to your accounting systems for your bookkeepers or for any, help that you guys are enlisting to kind of manage the financial component. All that's handled within our system. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is just actually jump in really quickly to show you our platform, and I'm going to walk through kind of an example of what it would be like to use our system and work in our system. This is what the platform looks like. This is my kind of sample business here, Finley's Flowers. As you can see over on the left-hand side are some of those components that I've already mentioned and walked you all through. So again, digital professional invoicing and quotes, the entire payment management system, which again allow you to track all of the payments that are coming into your business. We also handle automated receipt generation and reminders, and also refunds within our system too. So I know refunds can get very messy for small business owners figuring out, what service was rendered, what was actually paid for, what was refunded. All of that is tracked in our system, and we make it very easy. We'll handle all of that on the back end for you. Again, that entire customer management system that we talked about, and also pricing and inventory management system that we talked about. One piece that I didn't mention earlier is that we do offer a payment option outside of just invoicing. So I'm going to start there. So this is our pay by link feature. I will show you what it looks like for your customers. So your customers can come onto this link at any time. They can put in however much they'd like to pay you. You can think about this kind of like a Venmo profile or a Stripe terminal, but a little bit better. They can choose either to pay with a credit card or a bank account. Again, you'll see that 3% processing fee is added there if they do choose to make a payment with a credit card. And then they can either send this as a one-time payment, or they can schedule it, on a weekly or a monthly basis, add a little bit of information about what that payment is for, and go ahead and send that off to your business. And when that payment comes in, you'll see it tracked within the payment management system. So you'll see who it's from, how much it's for, and where it came from. You can easily go ahead and send or download receipts to those customers and view, if anything's been refunded, what the transaction, fees were, anything like that. And you can also see when that payment was sent to your bank account, again, making it very easy to manage. If you are a nonprofit or maybe you collect donations, you can also change the language on this to being a donation link, which makes that easy too. Otherwise, the way that you can actually share this link with your customers, this is customizable, so you can set the URL however you want that to look. You can very easily share this with your customers through an email or text message, or we also automatically generate a QR code for you that you can download and put on, a flyer or up on your website, so that customers at any point can come to that kind of virtual terminal and make payment to your business at any point. The other way to collect payments through our system is through our invoicing experience, which I talked about a little bit earlier, but I'll walk through what this flow looks like so you guys can get a sense of how easy it is to send out an invoice. So you come in here to our invoice builder. We support both bulk invoicing. So let's say you're sending the same invoice to 5 different customers, you can do that all at once. And we also support recurring invoicing. So we will automatically generate invoices for you, every week or month or year if you're billing one customer for the same items, over and over again. Maybe you have a monthly subscription that you're managing, or you have them on a retainer, or rather they have you on a retainer. We'll handle all of that in the background so you don't have to go in and create those invoices every month. So again, you can go ahead and add your customers here, or very easily create a new one. We'll just start with kind of one of the example customers that I'm working with here. We'll leave this as a one-time invoice. I'll set it to be due at the end of the month. And I can choose the issue date. So when I want that invoice to actually become active and able to accept payment, choose that as today. The invoice date is a pretty flexible field. You can use that to either reflect, a period of service, or maybe the date of service, or the date that you're issuing the invoice, however you want to leverage that field. You can go ahead and add some items. You'll see the inventory is tracked right in here. So I can see, oh, wait, I shouldn't bill them for, 39 bases because I only have 39, or whatever that looks like for your business. But I'll go ahead and add a couple items in here. And I'll go ahead and add these to the invoice. These I can customize. So again, I want to do, either hourly or based on quantity. Do 2 hours of the event setup and quantity, event setup and cleanup. I can add, maybe a discount on that specific item if I give a new customer discount on the event setup. I'll put, 2 flowers for the lobby. I need, 10 vases. I only have 1 in stock, but I know that I just placed an order for that yesterday, and I'll go ahead and update that in a second here. So I'll just bill them for that anyways. And then maybe we'll do, 10 large custom arrangements. Add all of those to the invoice. As you can see, it all starts to populate over on the right-hand side here. I can move these around. I can add individual surcharges or discounts on any of these individual items, or I can also add, an entire surcharge or discount to the entire invoice. We're also in the process right now of building a tax module as well. So that's a little sneak peek of what's to come. That'll be released in, I believe, December. So we'll also make this really easy for you to manage taxes on the invoices as well. And then, as we talked about earlier, I can select kind of the payment settings. So if I want to pay the processing fee, if they choose to use a credit card, or if I want to pass that on to my customers, you can select that here. And then we can customize all of the communication settings as well. So, and maybe I want to notify this customer by email. I can CC people if I need to copy some folks on that email notification, or I can choose to turn off notifications, and I'll just, create an invoice link, and I can go ahead and send that to them through my own email. Maybe I'm sending over a couple other documents or things like that. I can choose to do it that way. I would recommend always opting for our notifications. I can choose when I want that notification to be sent out. And then all of the automated reminders will follow. So if they haven't paid by the due date, or 2 days before the due date, or 3 days after the due date, we'll send all of those notifications to make sure, again, that you guys are getting paid on time. I can also add a custom message on here, or an internal note that I can store for just my team's visibility. And in a couple of minutes, I have a very professional invoice that I can go ahead and send out to my customer, and it's now ready to accept payment. So if I take a look at what this invoice looks like, this is what my customer will see. It's very similar to that payment link that we talked about earlier. They can very easily view the invoice or download it as a PDF. They can select their payment method and choose to either pay today, or on the due date, or we also give them the option to enroll in auto pay. And what auto pay means is anytime your business sends this customer an invoice, we'll automatically go ahead and process payment for that. So we have a lot of businesses that have been working with these customers for a very long time, or the customers just really, they know they're going to pay them every month and they don't want to deal with having to remember to do that. This is a very easy way for us to just automatically go ahead and process those payments for them. And they can turn that off or modify that at any time. We make that very easy. Also have your contact information right here so they can get in touch with your business directly if they have any questions about the invoice. This is a logo which can be customized in your business settings, and you can control all those other settings there as well. If the customer makes payment through that link, it'll update in real time. The payment will come into our system and you'll be able to see that. If they don't pay our system, you can very easily record an offline payment. So maybe they did pay you through Venmo, or they gave you a check when they were in person. We can go ahead and log that here. The invoice will move to completed. And when we come in here, we'll see the full history of what's happened on this invoice. So I can see when the invoice was created and issued. If I had been logged in as Carl, we would be able to see when Carl viewed this invoice as well. So you can see if your customers have, viewed your invoices 5 times but haven't paid you yet. And then we'll also see that offline payment was recorded here. And if I go back to this invoice for the customer view, they'll see that it's already paid. They can't make payment on here anymore, but they can very easily view their receipt and download that. So again, we're taking out a lot of these really manual processes that you'd otherwise have to be doing on your own. And again, you can send or download those receipts here as well. We head over to the payments tab. There's that payment that I just collected. If this had been collected through Finli, we'd see the option here to refund. So we allow you guys to do either full refunds or partial refunds. Maybe I'm only refunding him, I accidentally billed him for 2 setup fees and I should have only done 1, or we ended up not doing 1 fewer arrangement, or whatever that looks like. You can send a partial refund for just those items. Again, that will all be tracked within our system. It's all sent over to your accounting system, so you don't have to do any of that manual work, keeping track of those payments. Let me jump in here and see if we have any questions about kind of the payment management part of our solution.
Oh, we do have a question, Mackenzie. So
yeah, I was just jumping in here. Can
so
we
that
specify or set the amount for the payment link option? No, so that payment link is actually just for your customers to kind of come in and make custom payments to you. The invoicing link is how you would set the amount that you want them to pay you for. So we kind of have the 2 different options there, either, custom payments, or you actually billing them for a service. You want them to pay you $50 each month. You would use our invoice to do that. And then as far as deactivating existing accounts and getting up and running on our platform, Darla, happy to take this offline too if you want to kind of chat about the couple different systems that you might be using right now, or maybe if you want to drop those into the chat. As I mentioned already, we're compatible with the existing accounting systems that you might already be using. As far as getting up and running, we make it very easy for you to get started within our system. So you can bulk upload. My internet's being a little wonky here. You can bulk import all of your customers from a CSV if you're using, maybe an Excel sheet or your contact list or a different system to keep track of customers right now. And same thing for pricing and inventory items as well. So you can bulk upload all those items from any other system that you're using, and then those will all be within Finli and ready to use, on the invoices or quotes right away. Hopefully you can see we care a lot about the small business owner's experience. We want to make it as easy for you guys as possible to run your business. So we've thought about a lot of these things in terms of how to make it as easy for you guys as possible.
Mackenzie, we just have one more question. I'm not sure if you already answered it live.
Yeah.
So, after the first year, how much would it cost to maintain the license?
Yes, thank you for calling out. I actually didn't see that one. So through our partnership with JP Morgan, the annual cost of the subscription for the first year is completely complimentary. So that is free for you to use. What I can't guarantee is whether or not we will extend our partnership with JP Morgan beyond this year. I would say that's a high likelihood that we would continue to work with them and add additional years on complimentary, but I can't make that guarantee at this point in time. So if our partnership with JP Morgan does expire, before or after that first year is up, you can subscribe to our services directly, and we'll make that very easy. There's really no switchover process. We'll just go ahead and send you an invoice to pay that. The fee for the tool is $39 per month, or I believe it's $397 for the entire year. So we've tried to keep the tool very cost effective. And we are, regularly offering like discounts and doing promotions like this. And again, that's all inclusive. So you might be paying similar or maybe more for a tool like QuickBooks or other invoicing providers. But then you're also getting a bill at the end of the year for, $2,000 in, or it's not a bill at the end of the year. You're getting charged throughout the year for $2,000 in transaction fees, and you're not realizing until the end of the year. That will never be the case with Finli. So you get the entire platform all inclusive. It's just one system. We don't bill, modal by modal. And then again, ACH is always 100% fee, so free, so no transaction fees there. And those credit card fees can be passed on to your customers. So again, no transaction fees there either. Okay, I'm gonna hop back into our system. If there's more questions that pop up, feel free to send them along. What I'd love to show at this point is the quoting experience. It's very, very similar to the invoicing experience. So we make it very easy for you guys to get this up and running. You can add a customer, add a couple different items. I'll just do this quickly since we've already seen it in the quote builder, or sorry, in the invoice builder. Add a discount or surcharge, add a message, and go ahead and send this off. So a couple clicks, this customer's already received an email for this quote, and they'll be able to come on to this quote link. One of the things that we do is we do require customers to authenticate. So you'll see that these options are grayed out for me here because I'm logged in as myself viewing this quote. If I were Carl logging in or coming directly from within, Carl's email address, then I would be authenticated as Carl and I would be able to accept or reject this quote. So we kind of make sure that it's the right person that you're sending the quote to, who's the one who can approve it. And once Carl approves that quote, I can go ahead and convert that into an invoice. So then it'll automatically turn into an invoice, and then I can go ahead and send out that invoice, and it'll be ready to accept payment. So that whole process from start to finish can be pretty quick. I do want to hop over and show kind of the inventory management piece. I know I've touched on it in a couple of different places, and I'm sure you guys have seen it as I've been building, the quotes and invoices. As you can see, I think I originally had, 39 square vases, and then I billed for 39. And then I think I sent out another invoice for another 9, or however we got to being at -9. But those I sent out, were updated in real time when I sent out those invoices. What we can do here with the inventory management is at any point, if I order more inventory, I can go ahead and update this. And then the reorder point is when I want to be notified that I'm running low. So I'll set that as 10 for right now. You can see that this just updated to 100 on hand. I can see when the date was that I updated that last, which is today. And then if I were to dip below 10, we would see that low stock notification here. I would also get an email notification reminding me to order. And then if I were to replenish that stock, I can come back in here and update it. Again, if I were to send out an invoice for 100, this would automatically be updated to 0. So all of this is getting tracked in real time. And again, it's much easier to be tracking inventory this way than maybe through an Excel sheet or another system that doesn't actually talk to your invoicing system.
Mackenzie, we have a question regarding the invoices. So how can someone upload their logo to the quotes or invoices?
Yeah, great question. When you pop into your settings in here, there's all sorts of things that you can customize. So you can add your logo and replace or update that at any time. You can also, change how you want your name or website or email or phone number to appear on any of the invoices or quotes. And then here's where you can update that pay by link URL. So maybe I just want this to be flowers.finli.com or, whatever I want to say, I can go ahead and update that at any time. And then this will show in real time on the invoices that I'm sending out. Some other things just while we're here that I'll call out about the settings. First and foremost, this is a collaborative platform. So you can add as many different team members as you want. We do not bill per license. It's just an annual cost per business. You can also manage multiple different businesses through one login. So let's say you have a couple different locations, or you manage a few different businesses. You can easily toggle between those all within one login. So you can jump back and forth, and you can add different team members to each of those businesses. So let's say that we have a bookkeeper that I work with that helps me with 3 of my different businesses. They can have one Finli login. I can add them to all 3 of those businesses, but I have a front office manager who only helps me with one. I can just add her to one business and she'll only have access to that. So very collaborative, and we don't bill per individual. So we're not going to be billing you for having access to 3 businesses, or the bookkeeper for having access to 3 businesses, or the team member for having access to one business. We just bill per business or per year if you sign up for the annual subscription. The other thing that I'll show in our settings just while we're here is those integrations. So right now I have QuickBooks set up here. You can manage any of the accounting integrations that you're using. And those, we just make it super easy for you to connect, and then all the data will automatically flow over. We do also have settings in here around kind of who pays that 3% processing fee. So that's a default account setting that you can set, and then you can change it on individual invoices. So maybe you want to set the precedent that, you always have the customers pay for the transaction fee. Maybe there's a customer that you've been working with for a couple of years and you have a separate agreement with them. You can change that on just their invoices. So we don't require you to have that setting across every single invoice. And then if you guys are on a subscription plan, you can manage all of that in here. Again, it's $39 a month or $397 per year. But you will all, as part of our partnership with JP Morgan on the call here today, you'll all have that entire first year free. And hopefully after that point too, again, can't make any promises. But we do also have a referral program, so you can refer friends to Finli and get a month free. We're doing that as well. Okay, last one that I want to jump over to here, or let's see, I think we have a couple questions. We talked about the logo, auto pay for accounts payable. So we are a little bit more focused on money in, like collecting payments from your customers, than you paying, vendors that you're working with on a regular basis and handling accounts payable. If those businesses were to be using a system like Finli, absolutely. Or if they were to be using Finli, you can set up auto pay as an individual. This is kind of a little trick about our platform, but if there are businesses that you're working with as an individual that are using Finli, you can very easily switch over to the payer portal. So this is what your customers will see. I'm sorry, let me make this very clear. Your customers do not have to create a Finli account if they do not want to. If they just want to receive emails from you and go in and put in their credit card information and make a payment, they can do that. 1, for free, and 2, without creating an account with us. But if they do want to create a free Finli account, they can. And what that will allow them to do is, come in here and be able to view a history of all their payments and be able to easily, download their receipts or set up auto pay and do all those types of things. They'll also be able to view their quote and invoice history and like store payment methods that they use on a regular basis. So if you have businesses or suppliers that you're working with, they can send you invoices through Finli, and then you can set up auto pay to them through Finli as well. Otherwise, as far as the business is concerned, we don't have accounts payable within this kind of business.
Mackenzie, we have another question in the Q&A. I think it's similar to the question you just answered. So
Yep.
how does Finley talk to clients' procurement systems for payment? For example, what if they have an SAP to process invoices and pay us?
Yeah. Great question. So what you could do is send out an invoice through Finli. If a client is very adamant about, paying you through their accounts payable system, they can continue to do that. And our systems don't necessarily talk to each other, but as I showed earlier, if they're paying you through SAP and SAP is sending you a check or sending you an ACH payment, you can go ahead and log that payment within our system. That would be a manual process for you to log that payment, but if you're, collected through SAP, ACH payment on 11/7, we can go ahead and log that here. Otherwise, if you're sending out, the invoices through our system, they'll receive the same payment, invoice link that other customers will. So personally, at Finli, we use this for working with all of our vendors too. And what we found is that a lot of them have switched over to just paying through our invoice links, because not only do they get better rates on the payments, it's honestly just easier and much quicker too. So depending on how your vendors kind of want to work with you there, they can do that. Darla, answering your question about one license for two separate businesses, you would have one login, which you'd be able to access these different businesses. We do charge on a per business basis. So if you wanted to set up two different businesses, those would have different subscriptions. But again, through our partnership with JP Morgan, those would both be complimentary for the first year. And hopefully after that point, but you can add as many team members as you want to any of those businesses. So we charge on a per business basis, unlimited users for any of those businesses. And you'd be able to have one login to access all those businesses and switch between them very easily. Okay, last piece of the platform that I haven't really shown here, and I know we have about 15 minutes left, so we'll definitely save some time for questions at the end too. But I haven't really shown the full, customer management system here yet either. But hopping into the customers tab, as I showed earlier, it's very easy for you to import all your customers from whatever other system or maybe Excel sheet that you're using. You can organize this using different customizable tags or statuses. You can also very easily see which of them are already on auto pay. And if you click into any of these customers, you can view all of their contact information, keep that up to date. You can add, any tags that you'd like. I don't know. Maybe they only do business with you in the spring. I don't know. That was a silly example, but we'll go back and you'll see that tag listed on their profile. We also allow you to kind of add different projects to each customer too. So we see a lot of examples with this, maybe the martial arts studio. I keep using them as an example, but they, bill a parent for two separate children that they're providing services to. You can add each of those children as different projects. And then on the invoices, you can organize each of the items by those children. So, Trevor purchased these materials and had a couple of different lessons, and Derek had these couple of different lessons that he did, and you can organize things that way too. Or let's say for a large, events management business, and you're billing a client for a couple different events that they're doing, you can organize those here as well. Again, we also give you the ability to upload and securely store documents and attachments. So any of those waivers maybe, or previous contracts or other notes, you can store all of those here. And then we also have kind of just a little space for internal notes too. We see this a lot with just kind of anecdotal insights that you want to keep track of about your customers. You can store those here as well. And then you can jump in. Oh, I picked For example, you can jump in and see all of the payments that you've previously collected from a customer. Again, send or manage send receipts or manage refunds within here. You can also see all of the invoices they've ever received. So looks like Carl has a lot of overdue invoices here. I can, go ahead and send reminders to him, or maybe record payments, or I could copy the links for all of these and send it to him in one big email and say, hey, Carl, looks like 25 invoices that you haven't paid here. Please take care of those, or I'm not going to provide you any more services. And of course, you can see the quote history as well. Looks like Carl has quite a few quotes he hasn't accepted either. And you can also view, any of those recurring invoices. So ones that you're doing on a monthly basis, you can easily see all the previous issued ones and the scheduled invoice that's upcoming. And manage those ongoing ones as well. So kind of a holistic view of all of the relevant information that you'll need to see from your customers. We do also make it easy for you to send out bulk communications too. So let's say you're going to be out of office next week and you want to notify, all of your active customers who are on auto pay. Okay, I don't have any of those, but we can go ahead and send out a bulk email to all of those individuals, letting them know that we're going to be out of office next week. Or if I want to, create a batch invoice because I'm billing everybody on a monthly basis and I only bill all my active customers, I can go ahead and send out a big batch invoice to all of them, for the same monthly subscription on a monthly basis. So we have that functionality built in there too. As far as training fees, no training or implementation fees. We have a dedicated support team that is at the ready to help any of our businesses get up and running or with any issues they might be facing. Within our portal, there is a live chat, which you can access right here at any point in time and get connected with our customer support team. We also have a phone number, and I'll just show you guys here too. We have a full help center as well with tons of articles and videos on how to, issue a refund or send out a batch invoice. And you can view all of those steps within our help center here too. So lots of great resources there. Or again, we have that live chat and also phone number where you can reach out to our support team with any questions. I know I saw a question about payroll. We don't have a payroll provider or payroll integration at this point in time, so that's not something that we handle at the moment. Potentially something to come, but I know that a lot of, payroll is kind of run out of the either accounting system or, sometimes people have, manual ways of running it through their bank as well. I'm not sure how you guys have that set up. But we're not integrated with any payroll providers at this point in time. Most of it's just like really about interacting with your customers and getting money in and collecting payments.
Mackenzie, I can provide a like inexpensive payroll assistance. Yeah,
Oh, awesome.
a referral. Then we have another
Perfect.
question. Does the complimentary year sponsored by JP Morgan Chase start as soon as we sign up? So when do the 12
Great.
months start there?
Yep, great question. Yes, the 12 months would be from the sign up date, and we'll give you guys the link. I'll send it in the chat here. This is where you can go ahead and sign up for the complimentary 1 year. If you click sign up now, this is going to be weird because I'm already logged in here, but I'm not going to log out in case there are other questions. But if you go ahead and click sign up now on this link, it'll take you through our flow. We'll ask you for just a little bit of information about you and your business, and then you'll be able to agree to the terms to enroll in that complimentary year. But yes, if you were to sign up today, again, if we're hoping to extend the partnership with JP Morgan, but if we're not able to do that by next November, we would send you a notification in your portal that you need to agree to a subscription to continue using the platform. We actually use our own system to handle all that billing. So you'll get an email that you have an invoice due from us, and you can manage your payment method there and pay for that next year or next month. One thing I will call out is, we have, you're welcome to go and sign up through our website. Although if you do that, you will not be, you know, shepherded into the complimentary year. So make sure to use this link and we'll send that out over email as well. That's where you can go ahead and sign up for that complimentary subscription.
I
Any
just want
other? Oh yeah,
I just wanted to add, so right now, everyone who is attending the webinar, they will have access to the link. But if we run out, then that's it. But so we want everyone to first attend the training, see the benefit of the software and how they can be integrated into your current business. And then also, like, just, this is a great opportunity for you to try it out. You usually get 30 days, 90 days, but this is a whole year to try out the system and integrate it and kind of take out the kinks. Like, okay, I don't know how to do this, but it's not costing me anything right now. I'm learning how to do this. So this is a great opportunity. And I think even more is because right now everyone who's attending the training, they're going to get the free. But if we run out, we are going to post it, let everyone know that they can go in at a later time. But everyone now is, you're kind of like guaranteed that you can get the account. So I just really encourage you. And then if you know someone who also would be interested, we're going to host this again on November 21st. And then we are going to post it to all our subscribers. So I just want to encourage you to get an account because if we run out, then we can't really guarantee because it's everyone who's attending the training that has access to it and now has been given the link. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you for calling that out, Veronica. Yes, we're super excited about our partnership with JP Morgan, and so appreciative that they are supporting the organizations that we love working with, like PACE. So yes, we definitely encourage you guys to sign up and play around with it. We've intentionally made the platform very easy to use. Hopefully you can see that based on everything we covered in our time today. Of course, if there are any questions, please feel free to reach out to our support team or reach out, to me directly. Happy to answer any questions. We are always rolling out new features and making the platform better and improving things. We have a lot of really exciting updates coming for the remainder of this year. You can always check out, what that looks like in our little what's new section over here, or of course refer any businesses. But I really just appreciate you guys all taking the time to learn more about the system. Sounds like Darla's looking for some that payroll recommendation too. But
Yes. I
hopefully you
will
guys
send
can see.
So I will send all of the information, the recording, the link, and then also the payroll recommendation. I don't know it off the top of my head, but we do have one.
Perfect.
It's very
Yeah.
inexpensive. And so I will share all of that. The Zoom webinar link does take some time to like compress the file and create it. So as soon as it's
Yeah.
available, I will share it out. And
Perfect.
also, I just want to ask you, does Finley have live support? I know some people are better with hand holding, like, okay, show me how to do this and walk me through it, or is it mainly the chat box there?
The chat goes to a live agent and then also
Oh,
the phone. You can speak with our customer success team there as well. Um,
okay.
but we're always doing like, whenever we launch new features, we always do a training webinar and have kind of office hour sessions that people can join. But I think you'll find things are pretty intuitive. We've made it very easy to use. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, so I just want to encourage you to sign up as soon as possible and then encourage other people to attend the live training on November 21st. I'd like to thank you, Mackenzie, for just providing a very easy to follow through presentation and then, yeah, just for being a partner of PACE and just bringing this product to us on behalf of JP Morgan Chase. So with that, I'd just like to thank everyone for attending and hopefully we'll see you at another live webinar. Thank you, everyone. You have a
amazing.
great
Thank you all.
Bye.